The Paddington Reservoir Gardens. Water is essential to human existence. Without it, we quickly perish. A viable water source is crucial for the survival of any human settlement, be it stream, river, or well. As villages grew to towns, and towns into cities, humans have experimented with ways to adapt their surrounds through engineering and architecture to provide sufficient water for their growing populations. In Australia, as Sydney grew to the east, a new source of fresh water was required for the good folk of Paddington. In 1866, Edward Bell designed a new water reservoir along the ridge served by what is now Oxford Street. Listed as a site of state heritage significance, the Paddington Reservoir was originally constructed into two stages, completed in 1866 and 1878. The water chambers were built below street level with a grass park above, open to the public in the 1930s. The operational life of the reservoir ceased in 1899, and the site was used as a workshop and garage until 1990, when roof collapse forced its closure. Now known as Paddington Reservoir Gardens, the site is a new public space designed by Tonkin Sulaikha Greer Architects, with landscape architects James Mather Delaney design. The client, the City of Sydney Council, envisaged restoring the structure in its entirety and reinstating a public park above. So, the architects saw a rare opportunity to create a unique space in Sydney, a sunken subtropical garden set amongst the ruins of the collapsed Western Chamber. This single decision is the great success of the project. It creates a powerful contrast to the conserved Eastern Chamber, where the mass of the brick vaults loom overhead. The project is characterized by its well-resolved junctions between old and new. The general alignment of the original structure is used as an ordering device for the precast concrete pavers that sit above the floor of the eastern chamber, and the columns actually conform to a perfect grid. For the two new roof structures that rise to signal entries to the park and subterranean spaces, the curved structure just feels right. These are partially enclosed by aluminum grid that whimsically references the older masonry mortar joints. And below, the pavers and garden bed are a series of new tanks that collect rainwater from the adjacent Paddington Town Hall to fill the new pond and irrigate the park and gardens. Needs as a park: to encourage, promote, and facilitate cultural, social, and educational and recreational activities. Needs as a general community use: to promote, encourage, and provide for the use of the land, to meet the current and future needs of the local community and of the wider public. Also, to guarantee the public recreation and the physical, cultural, social, and intellectual welfare of development of individual members of the public. Needs of the environment. The environmental objective is to provide a safe, pleasant, attractive, and accessible area for all users. The open space should meet the diverse and changing needs of the community and also be visually attractive and environmentally sustainable. Design objectives: secure, strengthen, and stabilize the reservoir structure so that further deterioration does not occur. The design of the redevelopment must acknowledge the cultural importance of both the reserve and the heritage reservoir in the life of Paddington, and ensure high-quality design outcomes to serve ongoing community cultural and artistic needs. Ensure the standard of landscape design is functionally aesthetically pleasing, and takes account the heritage values and maintenance demands. Structure. The Paddington Reservoir Gardens consist on an upper-level park suitable for passive recreation, sitting and viewing and relaxing, and a lower-level sunken courtyard garden suitable for passive recreation, incorporating a possible point-of-sale refreshment kiosk, shaded outdoor refreshment areas, and water elements. It also has an eastern chamber for cultural uses, such as an art gallery, museum, and exhibition center, and incorporating possible coffee shop refreshment center area, and below ground areas used as backup support service. Materials used. At Paddington, the new works limited palette of refined off-form concrete vaults, precast paving slabs, painting steel and aluminum provide a contrast to the richer texture of existing brick and timber. Completed in 1878, the unusual structure comprised two major chambers of brick vaults spanning between steel beams supported on ironbark columns. The eastern chamber has been conserved with new timber columns and a waterproof concrete structure over, stabilizing the brickwork and forming the base for the new landscaped park above. Two lightweight roofs float above the reservoir, signaling the main entry points to the park. The lightness of the roof acts as a counterpoint to the solid earthiness of the masonry vaults, while there is a whimsical reference to the older masonry mortar joints in the staggered pattern of the metal grid. A restricted palette of three materials, steel, aluminum, and concrete, were chosen as a contemporary partners for the historic brick, cast iron, and timber, united as they are in their raw industrial expression. This quality, crucial to sustaining the memory of the original purpose of the structure, is softened by the status given in the planting and also by the overt invitation implicit in the walkways to explore the whole park.